Hello, and I'm here today to kind of walk you through how you can have students turn in their writing assignments using Canvas. Um, so I'm going to be sharing my screen with you, and we're going to kind of walk through like how you can do that. It's pretty simple, but I know that when we're trying to try something new, it can be a little bit challenging. So let me shrink this a little bit. I don't need to see that. And as we start with our writing materials, I know that sometimes we can say, oh my goodness, what do we need to do? So what you're gonna wanna do is in your Google Drive, you're gonna wanna probably set up a new folder. And if you are doing Up the Ladder narrative right now, you might call it Up the Ladder narrative. And then maybe it's your homeroom, maybe you have more than one class. Okay? So now you don't have to do it this way. I think this is you've got to organize it in some way. So I'm gonna go in, I have my Up the Ladder folder in here, go down. I'm sorry, I have lots of folders. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so in that folder, once I have it, I'm going to want to create a template for my students. So I'm going to make a Google slide, and I want you to just kind of think like, how many pages will you want them to put on this particular assignment? So they're handwriting their assignments, and let's say you're looking through your lessons, you say, I'm going to have them upload what they have written 4 different days or 5 different days. So if that's the case and you know when you're going to ask them to do that work, then what I want you to do is consider, like, they can all do it in one assignment. We don't need to separate this out into multiple assignments. This way it's almost like a data folder for your students, okay? All right, so if that's the case, I could name this narrative. I could name it data folder because it's a digital data folder. So we're going to store all of our Up the Ladder writing in here. And here you'll want to tell them how, like, if you want them to put their name. Okay, so you want them to put their name here. Now you're also going to want to tell them how to name it in the file, because if you don't have a consistent naming system, it'll be a problem later. So this is going to be their cover page, and then you're going to just add a page. And you might title this the day that you're going to want them to turn this in. Say you want this on, let's say the first one is going to be September 2nd. Okay, so that's not Monday though. Sorry, guys. I was thinking a different day and then wrote it. So maybe you just put the date or the day of the week and the date, whatever you want. Okay. So what's going to happen is you can set up as many of these as you want. If you know what days you're going to ask them to turn in assignments, you can set it up this way. You could set it up with the name of the session. I think for kids, they don't necessarily have our books sitting there next to them and go, oh, this is session named whatever, right? So, but however you do that, so let's say I'm going to add in 2 more. And I'm going to give them, I'm going to be consistent in my naming. So September 8th, and remember these are just models. And this one that goes in between there. So maybe those are the days that I'm going to collect writing from the students. Okay, so once I have done this piece, what I want to do is I want to be able to share it with them. So when we look up at our bar up here, let's see, I'm going to move myself down. My sharing settings are locked right now. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to save the name. Okay, so we want to change it to anybody that's in HEB. So the students are logging in with their HEB account. I'm going to copy this link. Now, right now, anybody that looks at it, they're going to add to it and it's going to mess it up. So we don't want to do that. So up here in a new bar, I'm going to paste that link. And we can see on the end, it says edit USP equals sharing. Okay, we do not want that. We want to force a copy. And I apologize if you already know that step, but I was so excited when I saw that. So now, when I copy this, the settings are different. Now it's going to force a copy when it's open. So we got to double check that it's going to work. Now we have it, we hit return, and voila. So now when the kids, if that's the link I give them, in my assignment box, I said, boys and girls, here's your assignment. When they click on it, it forces them to make a copy. So now they make a copy of it. My computer is being slow. There we go. Now, what's going to happen here is look at the title. So what we're going to have to give the kids directions on is the naming. So you may, like right now, it's not the right name anyway. So what I want to do is tell the kids, I want your first name, last name, and I just want you to put up the ladder narrative, okay? So that when I search it, I'm finding what I'm looking for. Another way to do this would be to have them start with up the ladder narrative and then put their name afterwards. So when you go in and they share it back, you need a consistent way to find it because you're going to have to go into that shared with me and type it in. So maybe you want to start with up the ladder narrative so that when you type that in, all the kids who shared this back to you have populated and you can find it and then go, oh, I need to look at Angie's or I need to look at Tim's. So just know that you want them to name it a specific way. Now comes the fun part. So this is my copy. I'm a student and I need to share my writing. And this obviously is not, I'm not going to ask them to type on it. So in this box, you're going to have them use the camera. So you're going to say, use the camera, and it's going to say, can I use it? And I don't know why. It's probably saying that there is no camera connected because I'm on my iPad or on my computer. So what the kids will do is they're going to say that they want to use the camera, and then because they're on Chromebooks, there is a camera on the keyboard. They will just flip it, and then it'll let them take a picture of their writing. So it's really simple for the kids. Obviously, I'm having technical problems, but for the kids, easy peasy, okay? So it will they just flip it closed, so not closing the screen to the keyboard, but flipping it backwards. And then they have the ability to take a picture with their actual device, and it will put it directly into the Google slide. So they will upload those pictures. They will just stick them right in here. And so they can put one in on September 2nd. They're going to share this back to you. So when they go to share it, they're just going to either share it through an email, right, or grab that link. So either they're going to type your name in here because that's what you've asked them to do, or you're going to make sure that they copy this little link and they're going to put it back into their Canvas page, okay? And so then you have access to what you need. And once you have it, and you can put it into a folder, into your folder that you've already named with this demo, and put them all in there as saving a link to it. When they go back in and they do their next assignment on the next day, so on September 4th, sorry, my mouse is not happy. So when they go to add the copy there, it will put it into that, right? So you could look at it again and again as the kids keep adding. So that way you've got it there. Now, the other thing about this is if they give you editing access, you could make a little text box on the side and type up some notes for them right there. So you could give them comments on their writing straight from that. Now, if you're not trying to see their writing, you don't need to physically see the copy, but instead you want to comment on their writing, that would be where Flipgrid would be really good. Have them flip the camera so that they're looking at the writing instead of looking at themselves. And as they read it to you out loud, you can kind of follow along if you're just having a conference. I hope that this helps. If you have any questions, need any support, please feel free to contact me. I am here to help you through this process. All right, thank you.